Hey guys!
Hey guys!
We're back with another Walking Dead review, this time reviewing the Walking Dead comic book issue 157, The Whisperer War Part 1. If you haven't read it yet and you want to avoid any spoilers, skip this video and come back later because everything we say from this point forward is going to be a spoiler. Okay, The Walking Dead number 157 was really a jumbo-sized issue. It was really thick, a lot of content, all of which was basically a build-up to the last 3 pages.
Yeah, and there was a lot of multiple panel pages. Like, there wasn't a whole lot of wasted space in this jumbo. So not only were there, like, tons of pages, but there was also no wasted space on these pages.
Every single page served a purpose. It was stuff that we probably should have gotten a couple issues ago, some of these things. Like, it's been a while since we've checked in with Dwight. So Dwight was very heavily featured in this issue, and some of it's stuff that maybe we should have gotten before. So Negan's on his way back after killing Alpha, and only now is Rick starting to position people to prepare for this war that really he should have been prepared for anyway, even though they were, following the rules and not encroaching on the Whisperer territory. He should have had people positioned at these spots anyway.
Yeah, he really should have.
So the fact that Rick's kind of almost been caught with his pants down in this situation, I think is a fault in leadership.
Yeah.
In a big surprise to me, though, Rick is actually starting to come around and trust Negan. He says he doesn't, but his actions totally say that he does.
Yeah, I'm not really all that surprised. Like, old Rick would never have bought whatever Negan's playing right now. But Rick's been very Negan-like lately. He's kind of gone Negan. And so I wasn't super surprised when he bought Negan's story about, hey, I've had all these opportunities to, escape and whatever, and I haven't done anything because I'm trying to earn your trust. And I'm just like, Negan's a far-ahead planner. He's planning something. I don't know what he's planning, but he's planning something.
Negan's a way more forward thinker as far as tactical decisions than Rick is.
Yeah.
And the fact that Rick is so naive and he doesn't think that Negan's playing him, I think is another fault in Rick's leadership. And that seems to be the real theme in the last several issues of the comic, is Rick has become, just driven to maintain his position and maintain his power, to the point, a few issues ago, he, confronts Michonne and he's like, "You're not turning against me, are you?" He's really concerned about maintaining his power, and I think that's really kind of interfered with his decision-making process. And just this Rick is not the Rick that we've come to know.
Yeah.
And so I've been saying it for probably 20 issues. I feel like they're gearing up to kill off Rick Grimes. And I feel like that even more so after this issue.
Even Negan's reasoning kind of, like, I don't know, to me, as an outside reader, not being part of the story, when he said, why would I come back? I could have been the leader of this group. But that group's not what Negan wants to lead. They're not the type of people he wants to lead. He wants to get rid of them because they're batshit crazy, and he wants Rick's group. Yeah. So I'm like, no, the fact that he didn't stay with them, that's kind of worrisome.
Yeah, I mean, they sleep on the ground. I mean, rape is totally fine with them. And just, that's not the kind of group that
they're
Negan
very uncivilized.
Wants to be part of. He wants a civilization. He wants to be in charge of the civilization. And there's all these pockets of settlements as part of this civilization, and there's nothing more Negan would love to have than to be in charge of all of these things. And I think he's trying to position himself into that.
Yeah. And the only one who really seems to be able to see through him is Dwight.
Yeah. Like, Andrea is totally on board. She's like, if you think you're doing the right thing, I trust you, and I'm on board with it. Dwight is the one who's like, I'm not letting my eyes off of him.
Yeah, so, he's the one, as he's walking up unarmed with his hands up, shoot him! Just shoot him!
and Magna wouldn't, because Magna's, at her core, a good person. She's not going to kill an unarmed person. Yeah. But Dwight is the one, and that's, I feel like they're gearing up to kill off Rick Grimes and to set Dwight up as the new leader of the settlements.
Yeah, I get that vibe too. I think that Negan also may possibly be dying here, especially since Rick put Dwight in charge of Negan, and Dwight almost had Negan killed when he was unarmed walking up. So I don't think it's going to take much on Negan's part for Dwight to kill him, and he basically has Rick's go-ahead to do so. Rick, he gets out of line, kill him.
I don't think Dwight is going to murder Negan. I think Negan probably dies the same time as Rick. I think we'll get both deaths at the same time. Maybe they kill each other in like the final fight, like near the end of the Whisperer War.
Maybe.
Something like that. Maybe they both go down at the same time and Dwight is forced into this position of leadership, which is what happened to him at the Sanctuary and why he left, is because he didn't want to be forced into leadership. But it just, to me, it feels like that's the direction the story's going.
Yeah.
All right, speaking of all these different settlements, we get some time with Eugene in this episode talking to Stephanie on the radio, and we find out that she is supposedly based out of Ohio. I think that's a lie.
Yeah, I think so too. I totally think she's playing him.
I totally don't think Stephanie's in Ohio. I think she's part of a group that's biding its time to see what shakes out between Alexandria and the settlements there and the Whisperers.
Yeah, I agree. I there's just something fishy about Stephanie.
I think we're going to get from one war right into the next one is the way it seems like it's going to me. Either that or like if Stephanie is on the up and up, the series could be winding down.
Yeah.
Like if there is another settlement in Ohio and they build this huge trade route between all these different settlements, it seems like that would be a good spot to really start, ending the series.
Yeah.
But I don't trust her. I think there's definitely something very shady about Stephanie.
Yeah. Let's go to the kingdom here for a second. They are not so happy about sending Rick people to help guard everybody at the front because Ezekiel trusted Rick and his group and died, and Ezekiel wanted Michonne to take over, and a lot of the people aren't really happy about that. They wouldn't stand for it. So I expect some stuff to happen with the kingdom as kind of maybe an underlying secondary story.
There's going to be, the Whisper War is a 6-part series. So at some point, I think the kingdom is going to abandon Rick.
Yeah.
And that's where I think things are really going to take a turn for the worse for the heroes in the war. And finally, as we said, this whole issue was one big setup for the final 3 pages. So what happened in those final 3 pages? Well, everybody's in position. They're just waiting for Abraham to get up on top of the water tower. And he gets up there and he looks out over the town. And it's a bunch of somebody, whether it's the Whisperers or it's the Whisperers' herd, or it's a combination of the two. We don't know yet. But holy crap, that's a whole lot of people.
Yeah. It wouldn't surprise me if it's a combination of the herd and the Whisperers.
And I get the vibe that Gabriel has completely frozen in that moment, and he's not going to send up the warning to warn everybody that they're coming.
Yeah, he's going to delay because he's frozen.
I think he's going to freeze, and they're just going to walk past because he's up high. They don't know he's up there, presumably anyway, unless they saw him climb the tower, in which case Gabriel's a dead man. But I think he's just going to freeze. He's not going to send up the alert, and everybody else is going to be caught completely off guard. And the first battle in the War of the Whisperers, in the Whisperer War, is going to be lost by Rick's army.
Yes.
That's my prediction for issue 158 anyway. Wow, I'm really looking forward to it. We've been building up toward the Whisperer War. Seems like forever. So we're finally there. And this issue, the war has finally begun in the last few pages of this issue. And I'm really excited for 158.
Yeah, me too.
All right, I think that's pretty much it for this video. If you have anything to add, let us know down in the comments. Also, if you enjoyed this review, and we really hope you did, be sure to tell us by dropping a like on it and subscribe for more reviews.
And thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.